Hello, friends. First of all, welcome up all of you in this video lecture series of 12th Commerce Secretary Practice. Before starting this lecture, I just revised what we studied in previous lectures. Up to this lecture, we covered IPO, further public offer, its provision procedure, right issue, its provision procedure, bonus issue, its provision and procedure, then methods of issuing shares, introductory part of the third topic of 12th commerce, that is issue of shares. So the next concept, that is employee stock option scheme, ESOS, employees stock option scheme, means the option given to directors, permanent employees, officers, employees of a company or its holding company. Then what is meant by holding company? We studied the concept of holding company in 11th standard, topic number 2 in types of companies or subsidiary companies, if any, which gives such a directors, officers or employees the benefits or right to purchase or subscribe, that is to buy the shares of company at a future date at a predetermined price, at a predetermined price. In short, under this scheme or under this option, permanent employees, directors, officers of company or holding company of that company or subsidiary company of that company are offered the benefit or right to purchase equity shares, only to purchase equity shares of company at a future date at a predetermined price. Means the price is decided in advance, but the shares are purchased in future, some important definitions. First, employee stock option scheme means a scheme under which a company grants option to employee. Next, employee stock purchase scheme means a scheme under which the company offers shares to employees as a part of public issue or otherwise exercise, means making an application by employee. Exercise, that is means making an application by the employee to the company for issue of share against the option granted by company, or vested in him in pursuance of the employee stock option scheme, or against the option granted by company as a employee stock option scheme. Next, exercise period means the time period after vesting within which the employee should exercise his right to apply for shares against the option vested in him under ESOS. Exercise period, that is means the period after vesting within which the employee should exercise his right to apply for the shares against the option given by company under ESOS. Means during this period only, or during this exercise period only, the employee can use his option of subscribing or making application for the shares under ESOS or employee stock option scheme. Exercise price means the price payable by employee for exercising the option granted to him means the price of shares which he paid or she paid as employee under employee stock option scheme. Under employee stock option scheme, grant means issue of option to employees under ESOS. Grant means issue of option to employees under employee stock option scheme. Option means a right but not obligation. Now it is not compulsory, it is a right granted to an employee as per employee stock option scheme to apply for the shares of the company at a predetermined price. At the price is decided in advance, but the employees can buy shares in future. Wasting time means the process by which the employee is given the right to apply for shares of the company against the option granted to him. Vesting, that is the process. Vesting means the process by which, vesting means the process by which the employee is granted the right to apply for shares of the company. Vesting means the process through which the employee give a right to apply for shares of the company. Vesting period means the period during which the vesting of the option granted to the employee in persons of ESOS takes place. Vesting period which during the period employees use his option to apply for shares that has been granted to him. Then what is meant by employee? A permanent employee of company who has been working in India or outside the India, who is working in India or outside the India. A director of the company, whether a whole-time director or not, but excluding an independent director. Next, an employee as defined above of subsidiary company in India or outside India, or of a holding company of the company or associate company, but not include an employee who is a promoter or a person belonging to the promoter group, a director who either himself or through his relative or through any body corporate directly or indirectly hold more than 10% of the outstanding equity shares of the company. Means only an employee who is a paid employee of the company, a director also, whole-time director also, an independent director also, the employee director of subsidiary company, holding company, associate company of that company who issues the ESOS or who issue the employee stock option scheme can also purchase share or subscribe shares or getting a right, that is option to subscribe the shares of the company. But the promoter or any person related to the promoter director, okay, having 10% of equity shares of the company does not applicable as a, or does not treated as an employee of the company. Conditions for issue of ESOS. Employee stock option scheme has been approved by shareholders of the company by passing a special resolution. The existing equity shareholder of the company must pass by passing a special resolution the scheme approved, the scheme of the company which is approved by passing special resolution by shareholder. The explanatory statement shall contain the disclosure as mentioned in the rules. The company shall have the freedom to determine the exercise price in conformity with its accounting policies. Another special resolution is also required to be passed in case of granting option to employees of subsidiary or holding company, and or if any employee is entitled for granting of option equal to or exceeding 1% of the total issued capital. What is meant by issued capital already we discussed in this chapter only. The company may vary terms of the stock option scheme by passing special resolution at the notice of special resolution shall disclose all variations of the scheme. Means at the time of sending notice of meeting to the existing shareholder by for passing a special resolution regarding employee stock option scheme, company must disclose at the same time the terms and conditions of issue of employee stock option scheme. There shall be minimum 1 year gap between granting and vesting option, that is using of option. The company shall have the freedom to specify the lock-in period for the shares issued exercise the option. This lock-in period is minimum 1 year between grant of option and vesting. The lock-in period. Lock-in period means the period during which employee cannot sell his shares. That is a lock-in period. So the lock-in period is 1 year. Lock-in period is 1 year. Next condition, the shares issued under the scheme does not enjoy shareholder who get share under the scheme does not enjoy any dividend or voting right till the employees buy the shares. Next condition, the employee shall not have right to receive any dividend or vote in any manner enjoy the benefits till the shares are issued on exercising the option. मीन्स जब तक एम्प्लॉय शेयर्स इस ऑप्शन के तहत शेयर्स बाय नहीं करता है उसे डिविडेंड या वोटिंग राइट नहीं मिलता है. The amount may be forfeited. Forfeiture. What is meant by forfeiture? सीज करना, जब्त करना. Forfeiture. If the options are not exercised by the employee within the period, or the amount any may be refunded if the options are not vested due to non-fulfillment of the terms and conditions of the scheme. Either amount may be forfeited or refunded. The board shall disclose in director's report the year for the year all the details of the issues mentioned in rules. Means when the directors prepare its reports, director must mention in their report for the period for which the issues is mentioned or issues is the issues as a mention in the rules. The company shall maintain a register of employee stock option in form number SH6 and shall be kept at the registered office of the company or any other place as may be decided by the board. means the shares issued through ESOS, the employee stock option scheme, kept under separate register which is maintained by company under the form number SH6. Contents of the explanatory statement: total number of stock options granted to him or granted options to be granted, eligible classes of employees, the appraisal process for the eligibility of employees, terms of vesting and the maximum period and process of exercising and lock-in period. Then all these things must be mentioned while company issue explanatory statement. Maximum number of options to be granted per employee and its aggregate. Method of valuation, conditions for lapse in case of termination, resignation. Next, transferability of options. The options granted to employee shall not be transferable to any other person. The option shall not be pledged. Then what is by pledge? Giving shares as a security for taking a loan, hypothecation, mortgaged, or encumbered, or alienated. And what is by mortgage? Convey a title to share as a security or to lender for taking a loan, mortgage. Sometimes you hear the word mortgage while taking a loan from bank. While taking a loan from bank make a mortgage as a on property. So up to the repayment of loan with interest, this particular property on which company or bank make a mortgage which is not sold by the loan holder till the loan amount with principal and interest he or she does not pay to the company, that is mortgage. In the event of death, the option shall be vested with the legal heir or nominee of the deceased employee. Okay, it is a good advantage during the vesting period if the employee is due to death of the employee, his nominee also can exercise his option. In the event of resignation, all options not vested in the employee as on the date shall expire. Okay, if the option is given but the option is not vested or option is not used by the employee and employee resign the office, then his options becomes expired. Okay, important thing for secretarial audit: in case of unlisted public companies, company should pass a special resolution as required. If passes, check the copy of the special resolution for approving the scheme of employee stock option scheme. Special resolution to be filed with ROC in form number MGT14. The explanatory statement to the notice of meeting contains the disclosure to be made. The director's report contains disclosures regarding to be made in such a report. Means explanatory statement which is attached with the notice shall mention or disclose all the things, okay, which are or the clearly mention regarding the ESOS or companies going to issue shares through ESOS, that is employee stock option scheme, is mentioned in the explanatory statement. Directors in his report must write regarding issue of shares in the form of ESOS. The register of employee stock option mention or maintain in form number SH6. Okay, next, list of documents to be checked: minutes of board meeting, special resolution approved for ESOS along with the explanatory statement, minutes of general meeting, board report, register of employee stock option, register of employee stock option in SH form number 6, PAS3 form and MGT14 form. Means for ESOS is the option given by company to its permanent employees directors for giving shares. It is right and not obligation. We discuss some important concepts, some conditions for employee stock option scheme. Okay, here we completed what is meant by ESOS or employee stock option scheme, its conditions, provisions, along with the checklist for sectoral audit, various forms which is required as per Companies Act 2013, that is MGT form number 14, PAS3, explanatory statement, content of explanatory statement, the option, the provisions regarding transferability of options. So after watching this video, you have to write down conditions for issue of ESOS, content of explanatory statement, and provisions regarding transferability of option. And if you don't understand any concept, then please report me regarding the same by calling personally or through WhatsApp group or making message WhatsApp message personally. Okay, while delivering a lecture here, my intention is to give you a more information as per Companies Act 2013 and more than the textbook, because many times if a separate question is asked for a short note purpose on ESOS, that you have to write all the things, that is conditions, provisions, transferability of options, secretarial audit, and one thing, that is procedure of ESOS, which I covered in next video lecture. Okay, that is procedure of ESOS. Thanks for watching. If you find this video is helpful to you, please subscribe my channel Sridesh 999. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your cooperation.